Yeah, hi. We're at spaceweather.com. The termination event has arrived. I somehow thought this happened already earlier, but anyway, let's read that. Something big just happened on the sun. Solar physicist Scott McIntosh, NCIR, and Bob Lehman, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, call it the termination event. Old solar cycle 24 has finally died. It was terminated, said McIntosh. Now the new solar cycle 25, can really take off. Yeah, it was really boring recently in the sun. The termination event is a new idea in solar physics, outlined by McIntosh and Lehman in a December 2020 paper in the journal Solar Physics. Not everyone accepts it yet. If solar cycle 25 unfolds as McIntosh and Lehman predict, the termination event will have to be taken seriously. We are here. At this peak, which I repeatedly miss. Anyway, the basic idea is this. Solar cycle 25 started in December 2019. However, old solar cycle 24 refused to go away. It hung on for 2 more years, producing occasional old cycle sunspots and clogging the sun's upper layers with its decaying magnetic field. Yeah, this sounds a little bit odd. During this time, the two cycles coexisted, SC25 struggling to break free while old SC24 held it back. Solar cycle 24 was cramping solar cycle 25 style, says Lehman. Researchers have long known that the solar cycles can overlap. The twist added by McIntosh and Lehman is the realization that overlapping cycles can interact. This makes sense. In the early 20th century, George Ellery Hale discovered that the magnetic polarity of sunspot pairs reverses itself from one cycle to the next. Indeed, the sun's entire global magnetic field flips every approximately 11 years. When adjacent opposite polarity solar cycles overlap, they naturally interfere. Termination events mark the end of interference, when a new cycle can break free of the old. Bands of coronal hole bright points linked to old solar cycle 24 vanished in December 2021, signaling a termination event. Yeah, it was in December when we were talking about this already. The timing of the termination event can predict the intensity of the new cycle. In their solar physics paper, McIntosh and Lehman looked back over 270 years of sunspot data and found that termination events happen every 10 to 15 years. So another cycle in a cycle. We noticed that the longer time between the terminators, the weaker the next cycle would be. Conversely, the shorter the time between terminators, the stronger the next solar cycle would be. So when did the latest termination event happen? December 2021. This yields a specific testable prediction for solar cycle 25. We have finalized our forecasts of SC25's amplitude, McIntosh says. It will be just above the historical average with a monthly smoothed sunspot of 190 plus or minus 20. Above average may not sound exciting, but this is in fact a sharp departure from NOAA's official forecast of a weak solar cycle. It could be just enough to catapult terminators into the forefront of solar cycle prediction techniques. Stay tuned, we'll be back. Yes. Red. Yeah, we are well above average. And our magnetosphere is weakening and weakening, and the poles are changing positions right now. So it might be exciting to see what happens. I mean, this is a really strong increase in action. Yeah, there's quite much going on. Thanks. Bye.